haven't archery hunted for a long time. So as soon as I knew I was selected for this, I went out and I purchased a bow. Because you ain't gonna get a big game kill without your bow. Plus making shelter. I'm gonna build a log cabin and I'm gonna burn lots of wood in it with that baby right there. I think that's gonna seal the deal. We get a moose and we get a big pile of wood and we're just gonna Cadillac.
Ryan Doyle, Mike Bendixen here on The Rush this afternoon. That is a clip from the show Alone. It is on the History Network, and that series, Season 7, has just wrapped up. And Mike, I don't know about you, but I kept looking at my wife the entire time, and I think the one question we went back and forth the most on was, could you do it? How long do you think you could do it? How long could you spend 100 days in Canada's Arctic? And I think we probably settled on maybe 1 or 2 days at the most.
No, there's no way. After watching what Roland did, and yeah, there's no way. I would instantly be in a fetal position, saying, "Why does my Uber Eats not work out here?"
Yeah, where's the pizza drop I was expecting? Yeah, exactly. Roland Welker is the man who did it all, 100 days in the Arctic, and one hell of an adventure it was. And he joins us to talk about it. Roland, great to have you.
Congratulations.
Right on, guys. Great intro. You got the 100-day king here.
Listen, Roland, I am so excited to talk to you because I just was so impressed by how you went about this. You knew exactly what you were going to do. You were very methodical. You had a plan, and you got through the 100 days, it seemed like, without any problems. Can you just quickly, walk us through how confident were you when the helicopter dropped you off and said, "Okay, here you go"? How confident were you that you could outlast this thing?
Yeah, I went in there highly confident, mega confident, and I maintained that throughout. There was some low points for sure. I mean, you got this plan and you got all this adrenaline, and then when you're dropped, it don't quite go like the plan. So, you have to stay up. You got to stay in the groove. Yeah, I don't let my confidence waver. Never.
A lot of this has to do with not only knowing how to survive off the land, and we'll get to the food part of that in just a second, but also building shelter. And I was watching some of the other people with the other contestants, because there were 10 of you to start. That quickly dwindled down to 8, and then, the number started going down as the days went on. But shelter is a big part of it. The second I saw you build into rock and create what you called the rock house, I thought to myself, man, my money would be on this guy. I mean, how much was that a stroke of genius and part of the overall winning strategy for you?
That was part me and just part the land I was given. As you watch that show and you see all the rock there, it's rocky country. So you got to use what you got. And I at least had enough brains to use what I was overly blessed with, and we created Rock House. And as Rock House was going up, I felt stronger and stronger all the way. Yeah, it was a good move for sure.
And I think for those that aren't familiar with the show, a big part of this show is in the beginning, it looks fine. It's nice weather. You can, whatever. But you and the others know that as soon as winter hits, things are going to change and you need to stockpile food. And one of the things that you early on knew that you wanted to capture and at least hunt was something that I'd never heard of before. Obviously, you're very familiar with it, was this giant muskox, which for the average layman kind of looks like a bison, if you will. And you, my man, I don't know how you did this, but you came across one and basically with a bow and arrow, one shot, you speared him, and then you went in for the kill with a knife. You rushed in and you stabbed it and you rushed out, and then you kept doing that repeatedly. It was the craziest thing. It seemed like it was just second nature to you, which is why you're so crazy and you lasted so well, and you are the last Bushman. Tell us what it was like when you saw that muskox and you knew that you were going to be able to capture it and kill it.
Yeah, the muskox was where it was at. The wind was perfect that day from where I was. The wind was from the muskox to me, so we had that going for us. And thank God I made the shot, but it wasn't instantly lethal, and he went off, and I had to trail him. Adrenaline just high. I mean, there ain't a drug on the market or off the market that can give you the rush that I had while that was all going on. Not only because of the primitive setting and the primitive tools, but just the amount of money on the line and the title that goes with this, the 100-day title. I wanted the title every bit as much as the money. So big pressure to kill that thing. And I was only carrying 2 arrows. I broke one, and the other one's in the animal. And so I'm there on the side of the mountain, and it's getting late, of course. And there's just me and this muskox there, and also while I was running him down, I had 2 cameras with me, and I did snatch a few pieces of film, but I really wanted to get him dead before I did too much filming, because you can mess up a hunt trying to get it on film, and I thought, I got to kill this thing. Don't fool with them cameras too much. So point is, when it come down to the stab, I had full batteries pretty much, so I think this whole thing's almost unduplicable. I don't think you can capture this again. Even if somebody did have this opportunity and the wherewithal to pull it off, you might not have your batteries and good batteries, or your cameras. Thank God my cameras were in the right place too. It's just, I don't know if you could duplicate that scene again. I don't think so. And the actual going in for the dispatch with the knife, I'm there with these 2 scenarios. I either camp out with this thing all night because it's worth too much money to just go back to Rock House and come, it might not be there in the morning, or go in there and get this done now. And I do have a couple stabs in my past hunting experience, so it wasn't like I hadn't done it, but never was nothing that large. And that, nobody was in how many miles, just me and a muskox and a knife on the side of the mountain. So I knowed once I hit him, he would come up out of there, So I kind of had an escape route planned. I just didn't wander up and do this. I moved into about a 2-jump distance, and I knowed I could take 2 steps, hit him with the knife behind the front shoulder in the vitals, and I never quit moving, obviously, as you saw in the footage, and I went bounding out through the blowdown, and he came up out of there like a bucking rodeo Brahma bull, It was, I'm shaking right now, reliving it by speaking about it. It was probably the craziest thing I ever did. And that's
Roland. Roland, hang with us for a few seconds, because we've got a lot more questions for you when it comes to winning and surviving that 100 days. This is Roland Welker. He is the winner of Alone Season 7. This is the most ambitious they've been with this show ever, and it shows, and it showed on your face. We want to come back and talk a little bit more with you. We will do that as The Rush continues. Ryan Doyle Mike Bendixen with you here on The Rush. Mike, the program director, of course, of NEWSTALK 1010. We are in conversation with Roland Welker. He is the winner of Season 7 of the History Network's series Alone. Roland, we were just talking about the muskox that you had killed as part of getting to the 100th day and winning the $1 million. Very quickly, do you feel bad for the animal? Because I'm watching at home and I'm looking at people killing squirrels and rabbits, and it's all done to the letter of the law in the book. But do you feel bad at all when you have to kill an animal like that?
No, I really don't. I mean, I began hunting at such a young age. I'm inured to any emotions on all that. It's man was put here on earth to live off the animals. So I don't get into no.
And Roland,
emotion.
Sorry, man. I would. Obviously, you've been doing this for a long time. You don't just drop someone like myself, into that situation. Clearly, this is a passion for you. You love, and you said this on the show, you love being out there. And I'm curious, when the 100 days was up, were you looking forward to leaving, and be honest, or were you like, man, I think I could stay another 100 days?
Yeah, the honesty of that is yes and no both. You are definitely ready to come out after 100 days. I wouldn't I wouldn't say otherwise, because it would be a lie. You miss, even myself that is, totally prepared for this. We're just so used to eating certain foods and stuff. But then on the other hand, I could have stayed. And now they'll always be a part of me at Rock House.
Do you think you'll go back there?
I'm sorry, say again?
Sorry, do you think you'll go back there one day? Like, would you visit? Is it that emotional for you that you'd like to go back maybe in 10 years or something? Or if, one day you have kids and bring them there?
Yeah, I'm not waiting 10 years. I'm going back to Rock House way sooner than that. Yeah.
When it comes to the mind, I know you had a picture of your mom, and I know you lost your mom not that long before this show began. What's it like in your head when, not maybe day 1 or 2, but you're sitting there out there in the wilderness, in the Arctic, you're by yourself. What's it like on day 50, day 60, when it comes to what's going on inside your mind?
Yeah, that was another little strange phenomenon. Again, to recap, my mother, I was in Montana preparing for this whole endeavor. My mother passed away, and she was in Pennsylvania, and I skipped out on the funeral. I felt, I was in something very, very important, and so I skipped it. But then I was going to dedicate the win to her, which I did. But on day, like, the longer it went, believe it or not, and it's crazy to hear this, but I felt closer to my mother out there at Rock House than I ever had before. And I know that don't make no sense, but that's how it was.
And do you think if there was an all-star edition of this show, is that something that you would be game for? You want to do this again? I know you do it for a living, and I know you're out in the bush right now as we talk to you, but is this something you'd like to do again as a competition to win the money?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to smash the championship, too.
And so a couple of rapid-fire questions because we're running out of time. But one is, you're one guy that I can say in all sincerity that when you say the money really doesn't make that big of a difference to you, you said, I'm not going to go buy a big truck or anything like that. Is there anything that you have treated yourself to when you got the money?
There's a really fancy pair of binoculars I've been wanting to go hunting with, and there might be a new rifle or two show up here. But, yeah, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm pretty conservative.
I was imagining you might make a donation to the Muskox Society of America.
Yeah, under Mona Welker's name.
There you do. You should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will spread some money around for not a Muskox foundation, but
yeah.
I'll give to my local church and some broader churches too, United Methodist and some independent.
Listen, Roland, it was an absolute pleasure watching you. I wish we could chat longer. I know you've got a busy schedule doing what it is you love to do, which is being out in the bush. Thanks very much for the great season. You're a machine. You're crazy, and I say that with all due respect. You're a crazy guy, but it was awesome to watch you, man.
Hey, man, go to my website too, www.rolandwelker.com, and thank you for having me, Toronto, Canada. Thanks for having us up at Great Slave Lake, and signing off.
All right.
Appreciate you taking the time. That's Roland Welker, winner of Alone Sheet. The History Network. If you haven't watched it, you can actually get it on demand on Crave as well, on your on-demand app as well. It's a phenomenal show to watch.